Welcome to the Sheenanigans Podcast.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gents, and welcome to this fortnight installment of the Sheenanigans Podcast Artist Edition with Ishana Sumazura. I am, of course, Ishana Sumazura. This is the podcast series where I interview artists who are not super well known, but should be. Today I am joined by Manila-based bedroom pop / indie R&B artist, Ruru. Ruru has made popular tracks such as It's Okay to Dream and also Another. She recently released 2 singles, one called Loser and the other called Strange World, both of which I think are amazing, so you should all make sure that you check them out. After, of course, watching or listening to this episode of the podcast, please all welcome Ruru to the Sheenanigans Podcast Artist Edition. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this fortnight's episode of the Sheenanigans Podcast Artist Edition with Ishana Sumazura. I am, of course, Ishana Sumazura, and today I am joined by Ruru. Let's go.
Hello.
All right, so how's it going, Ruru?
I'm good, the usual quarantine, pandemic stuff.
Yeah, what's the situation like in the Philippines? Because I know that it's pretty serious here, but the Philippines, I don't know what it's like over there at all.
I think it's the same, only that I feel like people in other countries have more freedom than we do. Like oftentimes when I look at Instagram stories of, my friends abroad, it's like they're going out, but obviously wearing masks and stuff. But here it's like we're just inside.
Wait, so you literally don't leave the house at all?
Yes.
Oh, that's insane, like literally.
Yeah.
Because I be seeing people even in this country, leaving their houses, going to the shops and all of that, doing all that. It's just like they have to have the masks on. Wait, you are in the Philippines right now, right?
Yes,
I don't want to make assumptions. Okay, cool. That's crazy, because here in the UK it's pretty relaxed, to be honest. People just don't seem to care anymore. I'm not gonna like I'd be seeing people in university going to parties and all of that, and I don't know. I mean, they don't seem to care that much. Obviously, myself, I'm responsible, stick to the rules.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay, so of course we always start each episode off with a joke, because I know that you've definitely absolutely listened to the podcast before. Alright, so let's just start with the joke. A man drives a train in Bulgaria. One day he falls asleep and runs over someone walking on the tracks. Well, his case goes to court and he gets the death sentence for murder. I'm sorry. Your face right now. I was reading this. It's not a very happy joke, but it's funny. Don't worry, it's funny. Okay, so he's on death row. The executioner approaches him. What would you like to eat as your last meal? I would like a banana, please. Executioner thinks it's weird, but shrugs and gives him a banana. Guy eats his banana, waits a while, gets strapped to the electric chair. When they flip the switch, nothing happens. In Bulgaria, such an act of divine intervention means you get released. I'm sorry. A few months go by. The train driver has been working for a new company. Well, old habits die hard. He falls asleep again, killing 2 people this time.
Oh.
I shouldn't be smiling. Okay, the court has no patience for recklessness, so he ends up on death row again. After a while, the same executioner from last time approaches him. You again? What do you want this time for his last meal? 2 bananas, please. Executioner shrugs, hands him 2 bananas. A bit weird, but whatever. There's no way he can cheat death twice. But when they flip the switch, nothing happens again. The train driver walks a second time. Some time passes, and the executioner is very busy. And another few months, the same dude shows up, apparently having run over 3 people with the train. Exacerbated, the executioner approaches him for the 3rd time. Let me guess, 3 bananas? Actually, yes. How did you know? Too bad. This has gone on long enough. No more bananas. Today, you fry. So the train driver gets strapped into the electric chair with no last meal. First of all, that's one of my that's one of my biggest fears, dying while hungry, you know? I don't want that. If that happens to me, I'm gonna haunt everyone involved for the rest of humanity, because the idea of dying with an unsatisfied stomach, for me, that's, I don't know about you, but food's a big deal to me. But anyway, let's get on with the joke. So the train driver gets strapped into the chair with no last meal. When they flip the switch, nothing happens again. I don't get it, says the executioner. I didn't let you eat any bananas. It's not the bananas, sighed the prisoner. I'm just a very bad conductor. Madam. Yeah, that took you a minute. That took you.
Oh, I was like, oh. Oh my goodness.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
All right, let's just get right into the questions then. So, actually, are we going by Denise or Ruru for the podcast?
We can go by Denise.
Denise, okay, cool. Actually, you've mentioned before, like, where the name Ruru came from, but, you know, just for the listeners, where did the name Ruru come from, Denise?
It's actually my second name, so it's like a shortened version of my second name, which is Ruiza.
Right,
and yeah, so Ruru.
That's pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
did you come up with that yourself, or was it like, you know?
I came up with Ru as my name going into college, and then people just thought that one syllable was too short, so they added another syllable and called me Ruru.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I never really got given nicknames by my friends. I mean, like by my parents, yeah. But anyway, let's just get into the questions. So what color would you say your music is, Denise?
Did you say color?
Yeah, color. What if it had to be a color? Like all of the music you've made, what color would it be?
Oh my gosh, I've never thought of that. Should it only be one, or can it be like a bunch?
I mean, I guess you could have a bunch, yeah.
A bunch, okay. I think it would be like orange, lavender, and teal.
That's interesting. Orange, lavender, and teal. Because I know that a lot of people from this cluster of genres would say that it's, you know, would say that bedroom pop is like kind of like a purplish color. What genre would you say you are actually?
It's so hard. It's so hard to answer that. I think, you know, for the ones who listen to me, they would categorize me as bedroom pop, but so I guess we're gonna go with that, because it's so, I don't know, I feel like I'm not good at like putting myself
into
in
like
this genre.
one concrete thing. Yeah, I get that. Like, I mean, I've seen people say R&B for you, pop and stuff like that. You know, I mean, in this day and age, it's sort of like a fluid kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like people's genres. I mean, so many artists don't fall into a certain genre when you look at their entire discography.
That's
And yeah, I mean, I guess you'd fall into that as well. Okay, I'm gonna ask about homeschooling, because I know that you were homeschooled. So what was that like? Did you enjoy being homeschooled yourself, or what was that like?
It's fun. It was fun, I guess, like, because I'm an extrovert, so like during high school, I wouldn't say it was like, I wouldn't say that I didn't have complaints. Like in grade school, it was fine, because I was homeschooled for 10 years, so grade school and high school. So like when I was a kid, obviously, like I didn't have a choice, and I didn't have my own mind yet, or a mind that really wanted to explore and stuff. But in high school, I kind of, you know, wanted to go, you know, into conventional school. But I guess it really helped me in like looking long term wise, because everything that I do now, kind of stemmed back to the like how I actually spent my time in homeschool, because it's funny because it's actually very hard to study in homeschool. So most of the time it was just me slacking off, and the time I spent slacking off was making music. So I'm doing that now.
Yeah, I get you. Maybe that was your parents' plan the whole time. Maybe they were like, they saw it, like they had a vision or something when you were younger, and they were like, this girl Denise is gonna be a bedroom pop superstar when she grows
Oh
up.
my
So
goodness.
we need to make her homeschooled. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, would you homeschool your kids? Like, how did that affect you, like with your friends and your actual relate? Because I've met quite a few homeschooled kids, right? And
Yeah.
some of them are
How
pretty
they like?
awkward. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's true.
So
Like
yeah,
I in college I had one homeschool friend, and like we were like it was natural that like we became close because, oh, you're homeschooled, I'm homeschooled. I don't understand anybody like when they talk about conventional school stuff, but then like when we meet other, like even me, when I meet other homeschoolers, I'm like, oh, this person is like, I don't know, like it's just different. But I
yeah,
guess
nah,
it really depends, because I don't know, like, because you're technically raised by your home environment, and not everyone's home environment is, great. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, nah. I mean, like, okay. So you've mentioned, um, being influenced and inspired by chairlift and star effort. I mean, personally, I don't swear. You can swear though. I just avoid it. But yeah, you've mentioned those two being inspirations and yeah, people who inspire you. So which artist or artists, plural, would you like to perform with live the most?
That's difficult. um, I think like I'd love to be in a lineup with Sandy, Alex G, just because like I'm such a big fan.
Yeah,
That's
do,
one.
I've never heard of them. So what kind of music do
Okay.
they make?
Um, I I'm so bad at like genre. So I think like it's kind of like alternative. It's so hard to like categorize them, especially because like they like how some artists change genre per album. So
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. But before, when I first heard him, my sister said he was bedroom pop. Then, like back then, this was like 2016, and bedroom
yeah,
pop at that time wasn't pink bubblegum. It wasn't like super pop. It was mixed like jangle pop and all
yeah.
that. And so yeah, before, but I don't know what he is now. Maybe I'll Google it. Hold
Okay,
on.
what's let's put it this way. If his music had to be a day, like the weather, a type of weather on a type of day, what would their music be, you know?
I think like a foggy morning, or like midnight, like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. or something.
Ah, he's one of the, oh,
Yeah.
okay. So he makes sad music then. Is that what it is?
Yes,
Is that what that
yes.
is?
It's like
Yeah,
sad country, folky, sometimes metal, sometimes like he screams in the music, but then the music is, I mean, what I love about him is the lyrics. Like he has a way of writing that's reminiscent of like fiction writing.
yeah.
And so like he paints like pictures with his words, and it's just so like like if I could write like anyone, I want to write like him.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. Yeah, like I see so many talented lyricists nowadays, and it's
Yeah.
and I envy their talent as lyricists. You know, it's ah man, I just get so jealous sometimes listening to
I
some
know.
artists, the way they can create an image in your head. Um, okay, so you've been in the music scene for a while, especially in the Philippines, but what does the ideal peak of your musical career look like? And when do you ideally see this taking place?
I think for me, I guess my goal is to really reach a point of sustainability. Like it's not exactly like super famous, but more of so that I can go out about my day and not be worried that, oh shoot, I have to make another song to, so I could feed myself or something,
Yeah.
like the struggling artist kind of thing. Like I'm at that stage, so like I guess that's my goal.
That's cool. Okay, so I guess when you ideally see this taking place, it's probably as soon as possible then, I'm guessing.
I don't know, like quarantine has made it so difficult. Like it's just like changed the scene. Like everything now, everything before, you had like gigs, you had shows, you had tours, and that's kind of gone now. So it's limited to just, okay, you have to make more music. You have to churn it out like you're a content farm or something.
Yeah.
And so like everyone in the oversaturated market, everybody's like the competition is so high. Everybody's trying to fight to be in a playlist, trying to fight to be, in the spotlight and stuff.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, the thing is, music is so much more accessible nowadays, and even, I mean, okay, a bit less accessible to make, but it's still really accessible nowadays, and it's easier than ever to make music and get it out there, Like I'll be looking at the fans also like tab on Spotify, right? And there'll be musicians with 1 million followers or 1 million monthly listeners who I've never heard of in my entire life. I mean, back 10, 20, even 10 years ago, people with 1 million monthly listeners, they would have been, probably near to the top of their game, But now people with 1 million monthly listeners, it's not a shock if people don't really know them. Same on YouTube actually as well, and people go viral so quickly nowadays. I don't know if you use TikTok yourself, but people
I don't.
Okay. So you do or you don't?
I have an account, but like I don't like, I try to steer away from trying to use it to promote myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you mean, yeah. But no, I've noticed that on TikTok, people will go viral for an hour and then people forget they exist. They're like, they disappear off the face of the earth forever, And unless they can keep on pumping out, the same quality stuff for a long period of time, it's really easy to slip under the surface. I'm sorry, this must be really bad to hear as an artist yourself.
No, it's true. Like I feel like that's a reality that I've actualized. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, it's really difficult to keep above the water, I guess, in the not even the music scene, but in every scene nowadays. Okay, so you studied film in college or I'm not sure what you call it there. What do you call it there?
College.
College, okay.
Studying at college, yeah.
So sorry, have you finished the degree or is it still going on?
I finished it. I finished last year.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So yeah, what was the short film you made for your final thesis about then? Because I know that you mentioned that once or twice. What was the premise for that?
I think if I can remember, because I kind of try to forget. Just kidding. But it's about a boy who wanted to pursue, I think, piano, but then his parents were against it. It's like, your stereotypical Asian, or like, I don't know, you can't pursue art kind of thing because it's just not gonna make money. I think that's the premise. And like, yeah, oh my gosh, that's all I remember, because it's funny because I know Thesis was so memorable in a negative way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So, like, I mean, how long was it? Like, how much work got put into it and all of this stuff, you know? Like, because in terms of like final theses for things like engineering or law or whatever, you know, people will spend hours just
Yeah.
slaving over this laptop, typing. But for film, it's different, you know. You actually have to get out there and film the stuff, and you know,
Yeah.
deal with scores and writing and etc. etc. So, what was the process for that like?
Well, we finished it in a span of 1 month, I think, or 2 months, if I can remember. And like we had to shell out money also, me, because it was me and I had a thesis partner helping me. So I was kind of more in. Well, no, we did the editing together, but we had a team shoot it, and I think, oh yeah, we filmed it in 3 days. I think 2 days, 3 days. So yeah, it was the planning super hectic, and I don't know, it was just I got really depressed when
Uh,
I made that. So, but yeah, I'm proud of the score because I did the score,
yeah.
and yeah.
That's actually really cool. Okay, let's move away from that
Yeah.
then, if that's how you feel about it. But what kind of films do you plan on making in the future? Then have you got many ideas for you know films that you plan on making? Are they short films, long films? You know, horror, thriller, etc., etc. What kind of films are you planning on making?
I guess like in the far future, because right now obviously my focus is music, and I feel like I'd be able to pursue that like in the far future if I do reach my goal and I have enough money to do it. I feel like I'd be writing a lot of oh my gosh, this is so cliche. Coming of age.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that, and I'm really into dystopian. So, and I was writing a lot of like this, like trying, emphasis on trying to write dystopian for a lot of my script writing classes. So I guess that probably like short films or something.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've dabbled with writing myself. It didn't get anywhere, but I have a script.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's fun
Maybe it
to
will
do.
get. Yeah, it's fun to do. Yeah, the dream is to maybe one day film it, but I doubt that's gonna happen. But so yeah, we just focusing on the podcast for now. If that ever takes off. But yeah, no, coming of age films are, I feel like they'll always be popular because there's always
Yeah.
going to be a demographic who needs that in their life, you know. I mean, I went
Yeah.
through a certain stage where I was like 16, maybe 15, I don't know, where I was just watching loads of coming of age films like Dazed and Confused, Almost Famous, stuff like that, you know. I don't know if you've heard of those, but
I've heard of those, but I haven't watched it. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I still have like a long list of you have to watch this, you have to watch that as a film student.
Yeah, no, I can imagine film students must be so pretentious with the films
Yeah.
that they watch and like their top film lists and stuff like that. Like, you haven't seen The Godfather, you haven't seen Pulp
I
Fiction,
know.
you even call yourself a film
I
student.
know.
But
Dude, we get that a lot.
yeah,
It's horrible.
yeah, no, I can imagine. Honestly, I feel like I couldn't even deal with film school for more than like a week just because of people like that. Like, no, I haven't seen The Godfather. Okay, let me go watch a SpongeBob movie again. I'm trying to enjoy myself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I swear. But yeah. So yeah, no, I feel like I couldn't deal with film school. But okay. So your which of your tracks do you feel like they haven't been appreciated enough? Because you've got quite a few tracks that you've released, right? But are there any that you feel like it was a bit disappointing in how it was received and how you worked really hard on it and you thought that it would actually really get somewhere, but it didn't? So yeah.
I feel like it's too early to say, but I think Strange World, I mean, it's a single, and I don't know, I'm just super proud of it. Like, even if people don't appreciate it, like, externally, I guess, like, inwardly, I'm like, damn, I made that. Like, I'm so proud of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, like, I wish more people would see it, but I'm too broke to pay for people to see it. So.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like working really hard on a track, and then hardly anyone listens to it or sees it or appreciates it as much as, the amount. In other words, the work not being equal to the appreciation, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so a bit of introspection now. What drives you the most, the past, the present, or the future? I asked this on a previous one, but I was actually saving it for this episode because I know that, you just mentioned that you were going to do film in the future, but you're focusing on music now. And you were like homeschooled in the past and stuff like that. So what drives you the most in terms of, I guess, your goals and your visions? The past, the present, or the future?
That's so funny you asked that, because the song that I mentioned is actually about that.
Really?
I think there was a caption that I saw, or like a quote, I'm not sure what, that I made or something. I think it went like, a man looks so much to the future, but a man builds for the future, not knowing that the bricks that he uses to build the future are from the past, something like that. Like you get it? Like it's so
I'm trying really hard. Okay, so I'm trying to interpret it. Sorry, would you mind repeating that again?
So like, okay, so for example, I have a bunch of Lego blocks, and like I want to use it to build my future. So at the present, I'm building the future, but then all I have, well, obviously, like, I had the Lego bricks from the past.
Yeah.
Because, oh my god, it's so hard to...
Okay, no, I get what you mean. Yeah, it's just clicked. Sorry, I have a bad thing with zoning out when things are getting explained to me, and I need to sort it out. But yeah, okay, so using past experiences to build your own future, then I guess, yeah.
Like,
no, that yeah, I can understand that. So I guess you'd say that you're more driven by the past then, I guess, or
like, I feel like that's so hard to... I think I'm driven by the future, but all I know is the past, so I just use my interpretations or my like insights of the past, like learning from it and assessing and retrospecting and bringing it to propel me to the future. Oh my gosh. So it's like with music, like I write about the things I had experienced, because I would never be able to write about something that I've never experienced before. So I write about past stuff, and that helps me to sort of move on. Like, it's a catharsis.
Yeah.
So it pushes me forward then. So obviously I wouldn't want to stay in the past. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't have anything really insightful or wise to say about that, but I'm not gonna act like I do either. I get what you mean. For me personally, I don't know. I feel like I'm more driven by the future, I guess. I feel like I have a vision of what I want to achieve, with all of my goals and stuff like that. But and that's what influences me most in the decisions I make on a day-to-day basis, and like what I want to do that day. I mean, even interviewing you now, going like putting it forward, putting it onto the pile of things that I'm doing to achieve my goals. Okay, yeah, so that answers that question. Yeah. I'm trying not to talk about myself too much in these podcast episodes nowadays. I feel like, I don't know, what frustrates you the most about bedroom pop culture? Have you noticed anything that frustrates you a lot? about, you know, certain fan bases in this demographic of, or in this genre of music?
Oh, going on the hate train? Just kidding. No. I think the thing is, like, what makes a fan base so strong is that culture that, you know, that drives other people to hate them. You get me? Like,
I think so, yeah.
there's always something toxic about the really strong fan bases. But I guess I'm gonna go general. I think, like, I think not only bedroom pop, but like toxic fan base culture is like, oh, wait, no, actually no, I'm only thinking of one. No, I'm not gonna go. Wait, let me. I have
No,
to
we
think
can
of
we
it.
can name names. I'm about to name a name after you finished explaining.
Oh, wait, I'm shy. I want to hear yours first.
Okay, I was gonna say Tyler the
Like,
Creator
I
and
want to hear an
K-pop
example
culture.
though, cause yeah,
Yeah, so Tyler the Creator
yeah.
and K-pop. Those are the two that I was probably gonna go with, and probably Frank Ocean as well. After seeing what they did to Drake
Why?
after seeing what they did to Drake at Camp Flognaw. Remember when Drake was? I don't know if you know Camp Flognaw, the thing that
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
Drake, the biggest artist in the world, right, was booed off stage, and they were all
Yeah.
screaming, "Where is Frank? Where is Frank?" Like, I get it. Frank Ocean is a really talented guy, but you guys just booed the biggest rapper in the world.
I know. That
Of-
was so.
What would you do if you were booed off stage, Denise? Like, I don't know what I would do. You'd never see me again. I would go. I would fake my death and go off to Cuba or something. You know, off to that island where Tupac, XXXTentacion, and all of those people are. Because
Disrespect.
there's no way that I'm ever gonna be showing my face in public ever again after that. There's no way, because my ego would be way too big to be shattered like that if I'm the biggest artist in the world, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, rant over. Carry on with.
Okay. Okay, I think something like that. I think mine is somewhat similar, cause okay, this is. Should I really say it? I feel like I'm throwing people under the bus. It's so difficult. It's okay. So like recently, okay, story time. You're familiar with Boy Pablo, right?
Yes, yeah, I know about.
Yeah, okay. So they held a Minecraft gig, like a Minecraft show.
Yeah.
I think on their like YouTube channel 777. And the people who helped like host that show are like people from the Philippines, people I know, people from the Philippine music industry, and like they just managed to connect because like there's this new club in the Philippines, a Minecraft club, gig club, where they host artists to play on Minecraft, to host DJ sets and stuff on Minecraft, and like fans would go online on Minecraft and watch these artists play. And so, Boy Pablo and his team wanted in on that. So they jumped in the train, and the work started happening, and I was part of the lineup with my friend Mellow Fellow. And it was horrible. It was so horrible. And what was bad was the fan base started trashing on the team, when really the team was like they were blaming it all on the team. They started like it's just super sad because these people worked hard on it, and then they don't like even the team of Boy Pablo didn't really make a statement or anything saying that, hey, like it's it was half our fault, it's half their fault. Instead, they just blamed it on them because they're not really that known anyways. And so everybody started bashing them like, oh, like they don't know anything, this and that and this and that. So everyone in the chat, like, because it was in Discord, and so like they didn't really like listen to the other acts anymore. It was just, whereas the usual like, where's Pablo, like, and dude, like it's so cringe because they didn't know it was a DJ set. They didn't even read that it was a DJ set. They thought he was going to actually play. And I was like, oh my goodness, how can they not know that it's a DJ set? Like, hey man, like, because they're kids, so can't blame them. But yeah, that's an example. Like, it's really like sheep mentality.
I think you can blame them. Were you acting like that when you were younger? I wasn't acting
No.
like that.
No.
Even I was old enough to know that people's feelings, man. Some people's feelings can be pretty fragile, you know. I would be hurt if people were gunning for me like that.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Bruh, cancel Boy Pablo 2020. Like, I swear.
No. That's the real.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. People can be so possessive and just like defensive over their fan base. People care so much about people who don't even know they exist. Did you see that person who sent Cardi B £800 or $800 even for her OnlyFans or something? I don't even know. Just for Cardi B to say, "Hey, thanks," or something like that.
Good for her.
Okay, you got noticed by Cardi B. People have been noticed for much less. So
Actually.
what now? What are you going to do with your life now? That's such an L, honestly. Like, what's the point? You know? People defending someone who doesn't even know they exist. It's embarrassing to see, I think. But yeah, I mean, do you have anything else that frustrates you about bedroom pop culture, or?
I think this is not specific to bedroom pop, but like I get compared a lot to Claire.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not trying at all to be like her. Like, it frustrates me because, like, hey, we're two different people. Like, you know, like, she has her own thing, she has her own inspirations. I have my own inspirations. And I always get that, like, on every YouTube comment. And I'm like, how do I make it stop? You know?
That sucks.
But I guess it's hard. But, like, I don't know.
Yeah, nah, I would hate that.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of relate to that. I get compared to, well, I don't get compared. You know, people see you and then they're like, oh yeah, you look like so and so. You look like so and so. Do you know how many times I get compared to KSI all the time? Just because I like one time, right? A few times on my Instagram, I've worn a do-rag or something, and I don't know, I might post it on a profile on another app or something, and they'll be like, "Hey, KSI, KSI." I don't look anything like him. What do you mean? It's so ridiculous. I mean, do you get that? Do you get that yourself? Like, you get compared. I mean, you said you got compared to Claro, but like other random Asian people who aren't even from the Philippines, who just so happen to be Asian. You know, do you get
Asian.
that yourself?
Yeah.
Like who for you? Who for you, Denise?
I think like somebody, well, look alike.
Yeah.
Like appearance. Okay, no, I don't think so. Not appearance,
Okay.
just music.
Yeah. Nah, but to be constantly compared to another artist would really frustrate me. Like, I'm my own person. I'm just putting out this music, you know. It's for me, I guess. Yeah. So, okay. So I feel like a lot of your music, right? It's just, I don't know if particular songs by themselves stand out a whole lot, but in terms of like them all being played together, you know, it's like, so Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, for example, you can't just play one song off it. You have to play the whole album, if you get what I mean. I feel like that's the same thing applies to quite a few of your EPs and albums and projects, you know. But two songs that stand out to me are Sleep and Sepangs. So I don't know, do you want to just go into like the story behind those two maybe, or I mean, if you even remember the story, like if it was that you know, effective in your life, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if it was that, like you know what I mean.
Yeah, like I just want to like hear your thoughts, like how, like in what way did it stand out?
I don't know, I feel like they were more I guess catchy, I guess. I don't know, like, because something that makes a song really popular is how catchy it is and how pop influenced it is, or whatever, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, just how I don't know how to describe it, just how catchy it is, I guess. I guess that's something that makes the song stand out a lot.
Okay, like I'm trying to remember a bit. Because with the EP Sleep, I wrote that, if I can remember, I wrote it all in a short period, like in a short amount of time. Because like some people when they make a song, like okay, I write it this year and then next year, write a bunch of songs and then I get some songs from like years ago. But then this EP, I remember writing it like I guess like in a span of like half a year, because like most of the songs on there were like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and they were just really like brain farts in that sense. And and Sepanks and Sleep, dude, like Sepanks was, it's funny because like I'm gonna talk about the inspiration, but then this person is cancelled already. So I think I was listening to a lot of Cosmo Pike, and I was inspired by
Cosmo
him.
Pike got cancelled?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, he did.
When? What happened to Cosmo Pike? What did he do?
Because on Twitter, I think it was on Twitter or it was on Instagram. Somebody messaged me saying it's like with how people like spread if somebody's cancelled. It's like threads of stories like witnesses, and so something like that happened with him, like allegations of like now he's Cosmo Spike. So he's Spikes. Yeah.
That's a clever name. That's
I
a clever name.
I know. But then back then I was super inspired by him. Like I think somebody shared to me his EP, and I started listening to it, and I was like, wow, like you can do this with the guitar and the drums. I can't describe how he does it, but then I was able to write a song that was inspired by that, and then I made a cover that he noticed, that he commented on my YouTube video. And then I wrote a song after that because I was so inspired. Like, oh my gosh, I was noticed by somebody I'm inspired by, and that was Sleep. So that's like like the story.
Yeah, getting noticed by people who inspire you, that's such a good feeling,
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously now he's cancelled. I didn't even know this. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I contacted him at one point to appear on the podcast. He still hasn't replied yet, but
Oh, okay.
it's just as well he didn't then, I guess, because
Yeah.
But no, what's your opinion on the whole cancel culture thing? Because it's so frustrating seeing just how, like, okay, I'm probably gonna sound whatever, but it's kind of frustrating seeing how sensitive people are nowadays,
Yeah.
I guess, in terms of I guess jokes that are made and stuff like that. Like obviously a lot of them are actually inappropriate jokes, but some of these things that I see people getting cancelled for aren't actually that bad. I don't have any
Yeah.
examples, but I mean, I'm sure that you understand what I mean by that.
Yeah, I get it. Like, it just I feel like it could be liberating for the person, for the victim, especially if it's super valid. Not saying that other people's experience are invalid, but I feel like people have to use their minds. I mean, they really have to think for themselves when it comes to like the issue in question. Because I know some stories where people cancel someone because of like something they said like 10 years ago or something like, and and obviously the person has grown from that. Obviously the person isn't the same person they were 10 years ago, so it doesn't really make sense. I think it's just really a matter of discernment, because again on the internet there's so many like sheep, like they just like they don't, what's that word? I think I watched it in like a YouTube, I forgot, I forgot who said it, but it's like people just think like sheep, like they group think. If somebody has an opinion,
crowd thinking or something like that. I don't know. I know what you mean. I know what word you're looking for, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like they don't want to form their own opinion. They just want to. It's easier to agree or to say, yeah, oh my gosh, we hate that person.
It's so frustrating to see. Like, just like what's stopping you from having your own opinion? Why can't you like? Because the thing is, like, how can you cancel a person for making a joke like Kevin Hart with the Oscars? Even that's something that really frustrated me. Or the Golden Globes, I can't remember which one it was, but him getting cancelled for making a joke 10 years ago that would have been okay 10 years ago. How can you say that? How can you try to cancel him for that? And then it's also how pick and choose people are with it as well. Like, my man Tyler, the creator, he's incredibly talented, and I respect him for the stuff that he's, brought into the industry. But come on, if he made some of the jokes that he made 10 years ago today, if he wrote the lyrics that he wrote 10 years ago today, no matter the context, that's his career over. He'd be done for.
Yeah.
But I guess it's because of, when people act a certain way and act like, if a person doesn't care if they get cancelled, it's way more difficult to cancel them, I feel like.
No, yeah, true. Because some people use it also for publicity.
Exactly.
They just need a story.
For real. I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've heard of Higa, Ryan Higa.
Yes. Yes.
He's talked about it a lot on his podcast. I don't know if you've listened to it off the pill.
Oh, he has a podcast?
He had one, then everything just sort of dissolved. I don't know. Some allegations about Paco came out, and yeah, I literally only heard about this 2 days ago as well. But apparently they came out in like June. But I was reading them. I know that Paco's a good person, right? These allegations, I skimmed over them. I'm not gonna share my view on it, but I know that Paco is a good person at the end of the day. Anyways, yeah, so they've talked about cancel culture a lot, and how in the past Ryan made a video called How to Be a Ninja or How to Be Gangster or something like that.
Yeah.
And he uses the FAG word in it.
Yeah.
Back then, that wasn't as controversial as it is today, much less in Hawaii where they were when they recorded it. And the fact that people are trying to cancel him or tried to cancel him over something like that, it's frustrating to see, I guess, people having just a single mindset rather than actually thinking for themselves and using context when they look over things. Anyway, we've digressed a lot. Anyway, that brings us into the next segment.
All right.
Would you rather question. So, as always, we have would you rathers or would you take the deals, but today it's would you rathers. 5 would you rathers. And yeah, I don't need to explain this, I don't think. I'm sure you played Would You Rather before. But yeah, so would you rather have people spread a terrible lie about you or have people spread terrible but true tales about you?
So how terrible on a scale of terrible, like you deserve to go to jail, what kind of terrible?
Like terrible, I guess.
Oh. I think the second one.
The second one, really?
Yeah. Because at least I can justify it. Like, I can be like, yeah.
You can just shrug your shoulders and be like, well, I'm Denise.
Yeah, because if it was the first one, it's like, well, no, actually the first one, it's like you can still deny it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I'd go with the first one because the thing is, I can deny the first one. I can just be like, well, it's not true, so where do we go from here,
That's true. No, I guess that's why I asked like how terrible, like how hard is the impact of people knowing.
Like people's views on you would change if it happened to be true.
Okay, then the first one.
I mean, I noticed
That's
actually
true.
you've got a blue microphone in the background as well. I
Yes.
yeah,
Team
I
Blue.
happen I happen to have a snowball myself.
I noticed.
Yeah, I don't have a stand for it though. I literally I'm holding it by by the tripod. Um, I'm not up there yet with the.
I
Oh,
actually also have this one, the famous one that everyone has.
I love the
Blue
Yeti. So
Yeti. Yeah,
yeah.
love it.
Which ones do you use to record your music though?
This one. This one's actually dead. Like, but this one I recorded. I think I recorded my first two EPs with this one, with the Blue
Oh,
Yeti.
okay.
Yeah, and then this one with the recent ones.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just released a track like 2 days ago, and I got criticism from Reddit. They all told me that I need a new microphone.
Oh my gosh.
I honestly, it wasn't even the microphone, it was the vocal effects that I used. So
Oh.
yeah, I used a lot of reverb and then low pass filters and all of that. I was trying to go for a bedroom pop vibe, kind of like
Yeah.
kind of like Jacob Ogawa, I guess. I don't know if you've heard of
Yeah.
Jacob Ogawa. Yeah, kind of
Yeah, I
like
know.
that. Apparently, I failed miserably. Apparently, but okay, so next one. Would you rather die before or after your partner? That's kind of heavy either way.
Mm. That's like, oh man. It's like dying before. It's like, you're selfish. You want them to experience pain. And then after, it's like, oh, you're gonna be in pain. You're in
Yeah,
for a
exactly.
long pain. Like, dang. Oh. Oh.
Do you want me to say mine and then and then you can
Okay,
just
yeah, say
decide? Yeah,
yours.
then
Say yours.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to die after, honestly. I think that I
Oh
could
my
probably
gosh.
I feel like I could probably deal with it myself. Then again, I've been hurt and it's not a nice feeling. So I don't know.
No, same. Same.
Because imagine
I
if
think
it's
after.
young. Like imagine if it's like 3 years after you get married and you're like, I don't know, like in your mid 30s or late 20s or whatever, and you've got the rest of your life ahead of you to deal with that. I
I
don't know. I don't know if I could do that. But I'm still going with after, obviously. That's some inspiration from music right there. I can't lose that.
Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go with after.
Gosh. I was gonna say after until you said like whatever it was like early in your life, and I'm like, no. I think before. I'm before. If
You'd have to
if
go
like
with before.
yeah, I think if I'm like at this age, for example, I think before. But then oh wait, this is all difficult. But yeah, before, if now. But if I'm like old, like 60 or 50 after.
Yeah. Yeah, my opinion hasn't changed. Okay. Oversleep every day for a week or not get any sleep at all for 4 days. So, like, what's the day-to-day life of a musician like you like actually? Do you have a lot of, things that you have to organize and, get to doing on your daily basis? Or, is it just a sort of do as you will kind of thing? What's the day-to-day life like?
It's super do as you will. Like, yeah. Because,
Okay,
like,
so
you're not always in the mood to do this. Well, like, generally, I'm not really the type to make a schedule. I'm just, okay, whatever I feel like, whenever I feel like it, whatever I feel like. Yeah.
honestly, same. Yeah, I get what you mean. So, okay, I guess it's not really possible for you to oversleep.
No.
Yeah, not getting any sleep at all for 4 days is pretty heavy. I don't know if I could do that. Because I'd get bored. But yeah, I'd have to oversleep every day for a week, I think. I mean, I don't really have that.
Yeah.
I don't really have that many responsibilities at this point. So, yeah, I'd have to oversleep. But, yeah, okay. Next one. Get trapped in the middle of a food fight or water balloon fight.
Food fight?
Yeah, a food fight. Have you ever experienced one of those before in your life? I've never had anything like that in my entire life. I only ever see them on like Cartoon Network or stuff like that, you know? I've never seen them in real. Yeah.
I think food fight because I've never tried that.
Yeah. Water fights are fun though. Water balloon fights are fun. But then you end up like losing all of your water balloons like after 2 seconds.
I know.
And you have to go running back to this thing. Meanwhile, some guy with a freaking super soaker is just going around like blasting, like drowning everyone with this massive like machine gun looking thing that he's got. There's always someone who has to go way too far, isn't there? There's always someone who comes with like a bazooka kind of water gun looking thing, you know?
Yeah, he came prepared. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm still going with the water fight because some donkey would probably throw like, I don't know, a can of beans or something.
Oh my.
And that would
That's
just ruin the whole thing, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I've heard of like you know that one in Spain, the tomato one where they just throw tomatoes at each other.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard people get assaulted. People get assaulted hard in that food fight there. Like,
okay, I'm gonna change my answer.
You're gonna change to
because you said that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's say nothing like that happens then. Nothing bad like that happens. Are you still going with water fight then?
Yes, because I just realized that we shouldn't be wasting food.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, food shouldn't be wasted.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Final would you rather? Would you rather be forced to live the same day over and over again for a full year, or take 3 years off the end of your life?
3 years of the end of my life. Like after the 3 years, that's it. That's over.
Like literally, let's say you live until the age of 85. That means that 3 years are taken off the end, so you end up dying at 82 instead. Or, you know, yeah, basically like that.
Dang. I want to hear your answer.
I'm living the same day for a whole year. I mean, I'm hoping that it would be a chill day, because what if I die at the age of 20 or something? I'm 19 right now. That means that
there's
I
always
vanish.
a twist to your would you rathers. That's
like,
the twist, like, oh, when you're young, like, oh no.
Because I don't know, yeah, I don't know. Like, what if I just so happen to die young, you know? Like, have you ever seen Death Note? Have you ever seen Death Note, that anime?
I know of it, but I haven't watched an episode.
Okay, basically, at one point, this isn't really a spoiler, but at one point, you know, these death god kind of people are able to see the date of someone's death.
Yeah.
And, like, some of them get shook because they're pretty early. What happens if you die like at a young age? Then what? Then you just vanish. Like, you get snapped out of existence, you know? Avengers Infinity War, I guess.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the first one and hoping it's a good day. I think if you can choose the day, that would be awesome.
That would absolutely be amazing. Because, like, imagine it's a concert or something. You know? You get to go to the same concert every day for... Yeah, actually, after 10 days, that would probably get a bit boring. But
yeah, because you know what the lineup is.
Yeah, exactly. but still, you get to see the same band every day. You get to like, I don't know, you get to like jump on stage
That's
and
true.
with no future ramifications at all. That'd be the
That's
sickest
true.
thing ever.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm going with the same day over and over again. Okay, so last question. You have 10 seconds to speak to the entire population of the planet. What do you have to say?
That was my 10 seconds. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was your 10 seconds.
Goodbye.
I was just looking at the clock in the corner. That was the 10 seconds up right there. Congratulations, you played yourself. Yeah, you have 10 seconds. What do you say?
Oh my goodness. This is so difficult. Like, I feel like I'd have to have a whole day to think about this. To everyone will hear it.
Like literally 7 point however many billion people in the world hear what you have to say.
Like verbally, like on a mic, like, hey everybody.
Like everyone can hear it. It's like you're a voice from the heavens.
Dang. You can say absolutely anything.
Yo, check out my new single on Spotify.
No, I was thinking that I was saying like YouTube, like a SoundCloud link or something. I don't know. 10 seconds. This is so difficult. I'm super indecisive. I don't know what to say. It would probably be like feedback. Is it on? Dead.
Yeah.
Literally.
Just end up like, wow, I really get a whole 10 seconds to speak. Oh my goodness, I've got so much stuff to say, and then the 10 seconds is over.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that would be that's like worst nightmare. For me, I've asked everyone I've had on the podcast so far this question, and honestly, I'm still going with promoting this podcast, my Instagram, and all of my music everywhere. Like, I don't even care if the music is bad. Someone's going to like it, okay? So my friends can flame me or whatever. My friends can roast me. I don't care. I just promoted my stuff. I just made the biggest advertising advert in the history of humanity.
Yeah.
I'll do what I want. But yeah, I'm set for life. Yeah. So yeah, that was the last question. Thank you, Denise, for a bit. Wait, you still didn't say what you were gonna say for the 10 seconds.
I don't know. It's like that's so much power. Dang. I mean, like, I'd probably like because it's so like overwhelming. I'd probably just say a joke, like the joke you said in the beginning. Literally, like, just, who digs it?
Yeah. So you wouldn't promote your stuff? I'm sorry, that's just so mind-boggling to me that you have all that power and you wouldn't promote yourself,
Why? What did other people say? I'm curious.
Some people said that they would promote themselves. Some people said be kind to each other, wholesome stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. This might be the narcissist in me coming out, but yeah, it has me shook that people aren't promoting themselves,
Yeah, I don't think I would promote myself. I feel like, I don't know, like, I don't know why. Maybe it's because, like, I feel like, okay, well, whoever finds it, it's fate, kind of thing. But if it's fate also to speak in the clouds to everybody, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I probably would, on a day that I am starving and hungry and really desperate. I'd be like, hey guys, stream my new track. Follow me and stuff. But yeah, but like now I'm like, yeah, like I'm just so indecisive.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That concludes the list of questions I had. Thank you, Denise, for appearing on the podcast. I really appreciate that. Yeah, do you have anything else that you'd like to say before we round off?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had fun. That's all I'm saying.
Thanks for having fun on the podcast. Yeah, okay. I think this is a good time to conclude the podcast. So, listeners of the Sheenanigans Podcast, thank you for listening. Stay amazing, and I will see you all next time.